You know what that does.
All right, I am going to call the organizational meeting to order. It's 1:32 p.m. I'll do a roll call as well, after the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yax.
Here.
Small.
Here.
Brady.
Here.
Drummond. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Okay. In referencing resolution 2019-12 that elects the board chairman annually and passed on October 16th of 2019. I would ask the board now for your nominations for chairman of the Board of Commissioners for 2025.
Madam Clerk, I would be privileged to nominate Commissioner Brady.
Further nominations from the board for chairman.
I was gonna say you accept it. It would be.
Are there any last nominations from the board for chairman? Being none, nominations are now closed for board chair. I will distribute to each of you a ballot. Of those nominated, please write down the individual you wish to elect as chairman of the board for 2025. And even though we're not supposed to do it by a secret ballot, this is how we've been doing it. And then I make them a part of the packet that is public.
We're doing chairman again?
This is chairman. This is, yeah, you have to still nominate. That was just to nominate. So there were more of you.
Understood. Well,
I mean,
guess
it's
pretty easy.
pretty unanimous here, but.
Okay, I don't get it.
Mickey Mouse. Oh, I did it on the.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
did too. I thought that was I probably won't look.
I kept the
That
paper.
was scrap paper.
So did I.
Adam Brady, Adam Brady, Adam Brady with a smiley face, Adam Brady. Adam Brady.
With a frowny face.
All right, the winner is determined by the majority vote, and obviously that's Adam, so Adam, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll turn the meeting over to you at this time. Last year, when you did vice chair, you did it by the same way of ballot, but you can also do it by nomination. Like we just did for you, that's up to you. I made some just in case if anyone wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think that's where you go. Have to bring regular meeting to order then and all other jazz. We starting over?
You can follow right on that, I don't have my agenda up here,
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
This, we just follow this right down to the.
Yep,
To continue the organization.
Okay, got it.
you're in the organizational,
Okay.
yep. So once you get through all of this, I'm just turning it over to you now at 1:35 p.m.
Got it. All right, well, pass on ballots for,
Vice Chair.
vice chair.
I would use this, Dave Jones.
Got? I'm not sure.
Vice Chair for 25. 25.
Barnard,
Got it.
yeah. Are there any further nominations from the board for vice chairman?
I'll nominate Carrie Small. Carrie hasn't been in the position in leadership, so I've been.
Oh, competition.
Decline.
Are there any last nominations from the board for vice chairman? Okay, being none, nominations are now closed for board vice chair, and you can make your selections by ballot. Is yours, Carolyn?
Yes, well, that's this here. We gotta put our name on this one or?
It doesn't matter, the fiscal part's been.
I didn't miss a regular meeting last year.
Dave Yax, Dave Yax, Dave Jamie, Dave Yax, Dave Yax. Congratulations, Dave, you are vice chair.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back to my regularly assigned seat.
Goodbye.
Let's take the next line and, move it down to, the regular meeting agenda,
The minutes?
minute approval. Next up,
I would
yeah,
move to set the, regularly scheduled meeting date for the Clinton County Board of Commissioners to be on the first and the third Wednesday afternoons. And Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. We held in the local convention.
moved to seconded, any discussion? Okay, we have to roll call all these?
No,
Oh, good, all those in favor?
just your resolution.
All those opposed? Motion carries, dates are set. Next up, investment resolution 2025-01.
I'm sorry to back you up.
Carolyn, made the motion, Terry seconded.
For the meeting dates and
First,
times
Same as where it always has been.
and the minutes. Was moved to the
We're
regular.
moving the minutes down
Move that to the regular.
Okay.
Second.
Moved seconded, resolution, so we're at roll call.
Who was the second? I'm sorry, Small.
Yes,
Brady,
yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small.
Yes. None of these have changed since last year, right? They're all staying the same as they were last year?
I believe the deposit resolution, is that it?
The deposit resolution has changed, we've added some things. At your leisure.
I'll move the adoption of resolution 2025-02.
I'll support.
Who supported Carolyn and Dave? Any comments? Roll call,
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Yax.
Yes.
The dates on the fee waiver was also changed to accommodate the yearly taxes.
Okay. Motion to adopt resolution for fee waiver. Me,
Support.
who supported? Any comments? Roll call,
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
Next is deposit resolution 2025-04. I'll make that motion.
Support.
Who is supported? Adam and Carolyn. Any comments? Roll call,
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Brady.
yes. I'd like a motion to top holiday schedule. Adopt the holiday schedule for the
I would move to adopt the cash policy resolution 2025-05.
And then we're working on holiday schedule?
That was the one, Adam, that you inserted. That was the one.
Yeah, does that have to be, can we do it after the holiday schedule? Sorry, I missed it.
We can.
Yeah. Sorry, Carolyn. You were right in my thing too, look at me. So I have a motion for the holiday schedule.
Carolyn, who's the second?
I'll second.
I do have a question.
Yep.
Under department directors section, the lower section of page 2. C, why are we waiting?
Oh, on the capture sheet.
It says notifying the county treasurer of any continuing pattern of loss in excess of $20.
You're doing the holiday.
You're on the holiday schedule motion.
We're gonna wrap up holiday schedule, then we'll go on to that one. Should be right there. Yeah, I put it in front of there accidentally.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't move.
No, yeah. So we have a motion in a second. Any of these fall on,
This
meeting
becomes
dates?
20,
No,
2505.
Oh,
No, they don't. I double checked. The only one we really had to worry about, I think, was Juneteenth. And that was, where is it?
Oh, that was this last year, June
Yeah,
18th. Yes.
no, there, nothing's that, well, get it, yeah, it's all good.
is it the 19th or the 18th?
19th is June.
19th is Juneteenth.
That last year was on that date. We had to move it or something, didn't we? His office was closed. No, we didn't.
I got June 18th wrote down for some reason.
It's on a Thursday this year.
Well, this might be.
Juneteenth was the 19th. In 2024, I'm assuming it's the 19th in 2025.
Not sure why the 18th is on there.
You know, I think I got that off of the federal holidays or off of the, I Googled it.
The 19th is a Thursday.
I thought it was
The
19.
one you gave us is June
The
19th.
19th.
Are you looking it up, Craig?
Regular meeting.
Well, that's all I'm looking at.
June 19th.
Never mind, I'm looking at two different things here.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the holiday schedule and the meeting dates.
I don't have the house.
June 19th is it.
Okay, and June 18th is your regular meetings. We're good.
Yeah, okay,
Okay,
so this isn't a resolution, so we just need all those in favor,
Yes.
Yay, yes.
all those opposed, motion carries. Now we'll go back to the,
Which really is 05.
Correct.
Okay,
cash policy.
so back to your question. Madam Treasurer.
Yes, ma'am.
Please help me understand why it's okay to have a pattern of up to $20, $19.
It is not, but this was the language that I gave you back in October to review for this meeting, and there was no comments or questions or at that time. I left it in there, that's fine. I don't agree that that's a great idea, but if it happens more than once, then they would need to notify us. If it happens once, and then if it happens again, obviously that's the pattern that I would be intending to.
Would you be all right if we just took out or theft? If there's a pattern of loss, notify you.
Take out what?
Don't say or theft.
It says or theft of county cash immediately upon discovery.
Well, yeah, that's fine, if we need time for discovery, that makes sense.
Notify of any continuing pattern of loss in excess of $20.
Why
So that would be,
Oh,
so
that's right.
what it is
It's just
if-
two different things.
if, let's say you go
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
books and over the last 3 months, you notice there's been a pattern
I
of
think she
this,
thought it was the same. It's
then,
two different things.
you know, it's like seeing that this is happening, finally, you found where it's happening.
But it's in excess of $20. That's what.
No, I think they're two separate things. If there's a pattern of loss over $20, that's one thing.
A pattern is,
So you could just mess up your books. Or any theft, $1 would get a call to the treasurer. If somebody stole $1, is that correct? What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah. Of any theft of county cash, $1, 50 cents, 1 penny. The first half of
that's
it
not
is,
the way I read it, but that's, okay,
You can take out the $20 in excess of $20. If you feel that would be more appropriate,
any continuing pattern of loss, period.
or theft of county cash immediately upon discovery.
There's any pattern of loss or any theft.
We'll make that motion.
I think Caroline, we both told you to second that.
All second. So is this consensus? We're just gonna go ahead and say, take out the $20? Are we gonna amend the motion?
Thank you.
I'm okay to let it stay.
I think it's okay as it stands, really.
Okay, and I'm fine with that.
I don't think the spirit of it is to allow for theft, it's just. Any other questions, concerns? Roll call then.
Vicky,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Yax.
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small.
Yes. Okay, cash cost. Establish newspaper record. I have a question. I'm not to, write on any pages here, but. Does it have to be the closest newspaper to your
No.
jurisdiction?
I think that would look odd if we were publishing stuff in the IASCO paper and Alcona people are looking at their local paper and they're not seeing the notices.
And it would be cheaper than anybody else.
But the thing I'm thinking of, if you went to like, say, a daily publication, then it would lift some of the restrictions that we have. As far as, for posting. Cause right now, if we have to do something, we're always, oh, it's 2 weeks because we can't get in paper till, it's 9 days till we get in the paper. Just talking out loud, and I'm fine doing whatever, but just something to think about.
They have been discussing that at the state level of finally getting rid of those because every county and pretty much township has a website and going to just posting on the website. It hasn't happened yet, but I think it's only gonna be an issue for another year or two, probably max, but just, again, just discussion.
I agree with the premise, although the problem, we already get people who complain that they
Oh,
don't get
sure.
the review. How many people don't get the LP news?
Oh, I-
They're really gonna complain about it.
I know, we're just,
And if you don't improve the situation, if you use the Aspen Press. Then we would.
But it's, I agree, it would be nice to have a deal with it.
I'm sure
We would not have to go 2 weeks.
it's 9 days whenever you wanna get something done, so no
Mhm.
matter what. All right, we
use
support. Paper moved and supported. Any more discussion? This is not a resolution, so roll call. I'm not roll call, I mean, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Motion carries. For dealing mileage, we took care of this already, didn't we?
We
Oh,
just
it's
did-
separate from wages, you're right. I'll make a motion to make the per diem and, what is the recommended mileage for? What's the federal rate for mileage gonna be for next year? Do you know that at all?
No, not off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
but you said there's at 70 cents a mile.
What's our current?
I think it's 62. I thought. Maybe the girls can hear me upstairs. See what they're about.
That mileage the federal rate?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, do you want to?
That's what I'm asking, should we?
2025 federal mileage rate is 70 cents.
Yeah,
Did we budget for that?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not. What is it right now? What do we do now? 60, whatever?
62 or 65. I thought we raised it to 65 last year.
I'll make a motion to leave per diems and mileages the same as they were in 2024.
Or
Move supported. Any comments, questions? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Alright, then we got here, quick set employee mileage. Oh, employee mileage, this is a whole nother story.
I think we're getting what we put in.
So it says this year it's 70 cents, it's up 3 cents from 2024, so it's 67.
Oh, 67.
We feel like a state.
Thank you for the stamps. Oh.
What's the date? Where are we?
I'll make a motion to leave the employee mileage the same as it was in 2024.
Or second.
Moved and seconded. I got support from, I heard Craig first. Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. 15-day minimum ADA requirements for meetings. Yep, we definitely want to have that. I'll make a motion to set 15-day minimum for ADA requirements for meetings.
Support.
Will be supported. Any comments, questions? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
I'll
Wait.
have a schedule for our next meeting when we get finished setting the committee items.
Okay. For the top of new business. Wait, the next meeting?
Pardon?
Like, in 2 weeks? So we just all stay where we are now? Does anybody don't like that?
Why, what are we waiting for?
She hasn't decided what she wants to do yet.
Well, I'm working on one of them.
Oh, that's right.
So you just want
Do them all.
to approve it.
I don't have to make a motion, somebody else makes a motion, it doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't need a motion.
It's your assignment.
Oh,
You were saying. it's-
Chairman
it's
said
given-
when he's ready.
the chair.
Or just gives it approval.
Does everybody want the same thing? Did you talk about having something different?
I don't think so.
Don't take my word that you did. No, there's one that we need to try to figure out for,
Yeah, divine.
yeah.
I didn't make it for the packet.
I requested
I
all.
thought you did.
I didn't see it.
Mine didn't print out. So I thought it was in there.
Okay. Want to get off longer, John? Like, yeah.
Here.
Oh. Yeah, 2 people on?
I don't think it an alternate.
Well, I guess, let's do this. I didn't do very good homework on this, and if everybody's okay with staying where they are for now, then 2 weeks, we'll come back around. I don't anticipate any major changes, but let's do that. If it's okay with everybody else.
Fine.
We are what we are, but I'll look at Hunt, see if we can get 2 people on that one, and then she's got one that, we're working on somebody for, somebody from the public to be on. So I'll come back around on that. That being said, we'll call to order the regular meeting. We need another roll call? No. Starting public comment, 3 minutes. Identify yourself and your township. Okay. Moving on. We will do the,
That's the minutes.
Minute.
yep, minutes. Review the minutes for December 18th, 2024. Carolyn has some amendments that she's looking at for that.
On page 4. Let's see. Okay. I think the middle of the page, most of them are small, and then a roll call vote. I don't believe that motion carried.
Oh, okay.
And then down in the finance report, I believe that the, increase was for the clerk's office Fund 101, activity 215, not Fund 215.
Correct.
Motion by Brady, second by Johnson to approve treasurer's office to make year-end changes as needed for the fiscal year 2024. That's not correct. It's the finance committee, not the treasurer's office.
What? Hang on. Oh, on the next page.
Hang on, in order. Before communication, with the treasurer's report.
Okay, it's our please help right here.
Yeah, but also at, what
Yeah,
Cheryl said
yeah.
also. Anything else? I'll make a motion to approve for recommendations with Carol and Carolyn.
Support.
Who supported? Any comments? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Mr.
Adam, you made the motion?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Now we are, where am I putting this? So I have to add some new business, memorandum of understanding from the, EMS. Talk about that for third and new business. I think that's all. And then, let's see, during finance report, I got a couple things to talk about, but we'll do that during finance report. Claims.
I'd like to make a motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between December 18th of 24 and January 1st of 25 for check numbers 156-297 to 156-424, and e-checks 2522 to 2530 for a grand total of $458,814.24.
Second. Motion seconded, any comments? Roll call.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
ARA increase request. Okay, that was a public comment, right?
Yeah.
The last one,
Public
you want to
hearing.
pick, do we have public, any papers on it all?
No.
What was your request, if somebody can remind me?
I think $5,000, the original, I think was 5,000, was that the?
Yes. Okay.
And I asked that it not happen, I guess, when we were inviting, but we got enough other stuff. We have fund balance in the ARA, we also have fund balance in the fair fund, which is total. $58,000 between the two funds.
So basically, at this point, if nobody moves to grant that request, then it just,
I don't know where it's going to come from. That's the only reason that I'm worried.
Well, it'd be general fund. What they were
Where
at,
is the roll call?
that magic line that has,
That magic fund that you keep funding.
yeah, no, I don't fund it,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was against it.
well, I mean, there's fund balances.
Well,
What I would suggest is if there's a project that they're particularly wanting to do, is get some numbers together, do a proposal. Propose a project, and then, instead of just getting blind $5,000. I agree with that logic.
Yeah, we talked about it, Adam and I have both spoke about it, I would like to see back in as I've gone through the ARA, I think it was 2020 or 2005. There was the beginnings of a creation of a board, a committee that included one person from the motocross board, one person from the soccer board, a person from the fair board, a commissioner, and then an at-large person who actually oversaw all that and decided where and what for. And, developed a plan.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that as the year goes on here for sure. So, okay, are we done with that line then?
Just so you're aware, it's 94 to 2350 is what they're potentially ending up with at the end of this year.
That's the
So we're
ARA.
starting out with $9,000 for next year, the ARA side.
Starting with 9,000 for next year?
Right.
Is that lower than historically, or?
No, the last few years, we have given more because they had projects. to do.
Yeah.
They didn't have anything specific this particular time.
Looks like they had 15,000 in there to begin the year with. What I have in my balance sheet, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be wise if they had a large project they're trying to fund, it would be nice to just kind of get a heads up what that is and have some numbers for it, so. Okay. Next up, clerk's 2025 budget amendment request.
I didn't probably include it in this packet because it was right in Monday's packet.
Monday's packet.
Yeah.
Well, then refresh my memory.
You want me to see if it's on your desk? Oh, you got it?
That's the right one.
So, what I'm requesting is a budget adjustment to the 2025 budget for, wages. For hours to be worked up to 37.5 hours per week. For the additional hours that they're working. Right now, they're just accumulating comp time, which they, are Teamsters, so they accumulate large lots of PTO. They don't need more time. So I'm requesting that their hours be increased to 37.5, up to 37.5. I think that's sufficient for this year. If there seems throughout the year to be more for more hours, I'll request it in 2026 at that time, but I think this is sufficient for right now.
Like on as required basis.
Yeah, it's pretty required at this point, but
Well,
yeah.
I just.
Yeah.
Just, I'll make a motion to, approve the, request from the,
Does this allow you to still have a balanced activity?
With this increase, the amounts that I'm requesting to be adjusted.
It does not allow a balanced activity.
No,
So-
she's not given any resources to come out of her original budget.
Okay, can you find that money in your line items?
Within the revenues,
No.
No.
for mine,
She's
no.
asking if you can
No.
balance it
No.
out of your budget.
I think before we approve it, we need to have the money to put in there for that.
I would support it. I mean,
Then,
so Adam and I,
moved and supported. Yeah. Gotta go,
it's not,
where to look is what it is. I mean, what the finance will have to go in there and find out where the money's coming from. Like anything else we ever do. So. I don't know.
so it's gonna happen anyway, if they're getting comp time, it's coming out one way or another. Cause they're accruing it. I mean, so Steph did talk to personnel about it and it's gonna get paid one way or another,
Right,
cause they're doing it. So where it comes from is,
Because the comp time, the leave pay that's in here, like I said, I couldn't budget for that. Because they didn't ratify the contract. I budgeted for about half of that, thinking that they would go up to their 300 hours and then anything in addition to. Well, they didn't put a cap on how much they can cap out.
oh,
Yeah. So, I had to make an adjustment there as well.
any more discussion? Roll call,
Yax,
yes.
Johnston,
yes.
Brumman,
No,
Brady,
yes.
Small.
Yes.
I'm not opposed to the concept, I'm just supposed to do it before we have something to pay for.
Next up, so remember random understanding for the EMS. Scott, you wanna do a little dog and pony on this real quick?
Sure, it's the same as the 2024 MOU for the EMTs and the medics. I added the category of EMT specialist, that's between the two levels of licensure. It does allow them to start IVs and advanced airway management, and that dollar amount would be 2205 per hour for 2025.
We received a, printout or on 210 and 213 this morning. What is that? Those numbers, where do they play into this request?
I can't hear your question,
You
Karen.
can come over here and sit with us, like,
All I heard was 210 and 213 in numbers.
210 and 213, we received that today, and my question was, I think those numbers are different than what I have from before,
They are.
so. You're asking for an amendment of your budget.
What the amendment was this. On my wage as assistant director, I had it the same as the paramedics. I had the exact same dollar amount in there that they make on a yearly basis. For the last 2 years, we've done 3,000 and 1,500 above and beyond the highest paid paramedic payment. So I had to increase the budget by $4,500. I took that out as contingency to make it down.
So is the budget that is currently approved? Right, we have one that's currently approved for this year.
I do not.
You do not?
Yes, we do.
We have approved one, but it needs amended.
You approved one.
Yeah, there's an
You
approved
sent your update with the memorandum that they approved, but it was not changed because we had already published the
Right,
original
right.
budget.
So we have,
Because we were changing wages and you can't do that.
Right. So
without
we have an
posting.
approved budget right now in place for you.
Okay,
That would include those wages staying this, or were the same in the approved budget. Is that correct?
no, the approved budget has the
No.
dollar plus another raise. We have.
That was my next question.
Yeah,
So that also has the
so
extra
we
dollar.
reduced it.
So we
Right.
reduced those wages, like, through the contract, or we didn't do the,
Through the MOU.
and in that dollar raise had your increase in that one.
It did,
Okay. So now we're gonna reduce the wages back a dollar
to 24.
and then put yours, the 1,500.
It'd be the same as last year.
Okay, good. That's the request.
well, the first request is the memorandum of understanding with the union. The second thing we could do at this point is approve the modification to the budget.
I thought we already approved that.
No, the specialist was not in there.
Oh, so we gotta do it again because it's, because we
Right,
did it.
because that just came about second week.
Yeah, okay. So we did approve the EMT and paramedic MOU for 2025, but the EMT specialist there just came one on.
One person,
So
full time.
that's why this is
Okay.
a new MOU.
I'll make a motion that we accept the.
And allow the chair to sign.
And is this reflected,
Second,
which budget is, I'm sorry, do you have something?
yeah, we got a second, go ahead.
Which budget is this reflected in? Is it the one that I have from like last week or Monday? Or is it the one that I received this morning?
Those two line items in the 210 budget are the same. For 24 and 25. Well, no, for 25, we did increase it, so it's in the 210 budget.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, are you accepting the updated one that came today?
Just approving the MOU.
We'll do that, then we'll do that one
Now we're
next.
going to the budget.
Any other questions about the MOU? Okay, roll call.
Hold it.
I did have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So at the time of this last payroll, we didn't have this EMT specialist in here. We can't hold up the, payroll on one person, so we paid her, not the specialist.
Right, and I told her that.
Okay, so that was 2024. Now 2025 going forward, we have this rate. If that's how, I'm fine.
Okay.
There's gonna be 2 days. We're gonna be back at that one.
Go back to the. For. Okay, I just wanted to.
Yep.
Okay,
Wages are the same for 24 and 25, plus the specialist.
Are we still in discussion?
Yes,
Give a quick thing of what a specialist does.
An EMT specialist is higher than an EMT, but lower than a paramedic or in the middle. They can do advanced airway management, they can do IVs, or an EMT.
What can't
They can't do cardioversion, they can't do defibrillation, the cardiac monitor, they don't have the same drugs, they don't have access to the ALS drug, paramedic drug box. They would use a BLS, it's a bag, it's about the size of this folder, there's 8 drugs in there, but they're pretty basic.
any other questions? Then we'll do a roll call.
who was the first? I'm sorry.
I was,
I seconded.
Terry was the first, Craig was the second.
Brady,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small.
Yes. Now it's gonna do this in finance, but we'll do it now. That's fine. It's motion to amend the EMS budget. 210, is it 210 the one it changes only?
Correct.
The 210 budget for provided information today.
support.
To mirror this.
Right.
And, oh, I'm sorry, you got support?
Yeah.
Discussing.
Who's for-
And 1,500 and the 3,000 is part of that too? For the
Yes.
director and the assistant director.
What I submitted this morning, yes.
Any questions? Roll call?
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Brady.
Yes. Thanks, Scott.
What am I looking at?
Check me off your list of bad guys, because I keep giving you wrong dates and stuff.
Yeah,
Or put me back on right away, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Well, maybe it's another one. I don't know, I sent it to you. I sent it to that. If that's not the one. Did you pull that off?
Next up, finance report.
From what I just sent in.
I think we did deposit resolution. Yeah.
there's no increase at all.
Approve, or approve.
From
Adopt.
2024.
We did? Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unless there's something wrong, I think that's the way it is.
From you and us. Okay.
Finance report. Not much happened for the holidays here, so.
Oh, alright.
Getting steady reports from the budget coordinators. That is for 2024 closeout and 2025 information. Oh, I want to bring up go ahead and bring it up. The email you sent for Cheryl regards to the 120,000. Is that a motion by the board? Has happened to do that? Okay. Can you help describe to me how that needs to be verbalized?
An overall, bottom line amendment of $120,000 increase needs to happen because when you approve the EDC payment for the rest of the year, it incorporated $120,100 that was never, included in the payout from the general fund. There was no budget amendment made by the board to approve that to go from the general fund to the EDC. There was a plethora of influx in revenues. We had reduced the transfer from fund balance from our original amount to $5. That's where that 120 is the increase, an increase in the 120 or about $120,100, which would change the bottom line from 63 or 6,367,469 to 66,487,569 to incorporate that transfer to cover the costs for Cherry.
Yep.
Capital, whatever the LLC for the broadband payment, that will cover the payments for the 2024 year. The rest of the funds were moved around. We had an increase in some funding in it, so we were able to kind of balance out the rest of them. If that's what you choose, but that would change the bottom line revenue and expenditures, and the expenditure would be the appropriation to the EDC to cover that 120,100 for that check.
I'll make a motion to modify the 2024 budget as, presented, as suggested.
Or
Who supported? Any more questions or comments? Roll call.
Brumman,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
yes,
Brady.
Yes. Other than that, we continue to work on, closing out, 2024. And any little persnickety needs for 25, I think, well. Moving on, personnel report.
Nothing other than Dan, after I talked to them, told him what we had. I don't know if he can come in, won't he come in this week sometime? As I mentioned, but Monday was gonna be the first day. He's not, okay, yeah, he said he was there.
talk to Larry and John.
Other than that,
Treasury report?
Looking at year end, we have a few changes this year. The accounts payable and the payroll, the accrual. We're handing to the clerk's office as they are the ones that are doing the accounts payable and the payroll. And it would seem that it would be a little bit. They have to do the actual checks and the accounts payable, and that's what they do. And then they have to record a record to give to us. And we do the journal entry, which we're not. It really makes sense if they're doing it as they can continue to do it as opposed to stopping, making a list and sending it back, sending it to us, and then we send it back to them we will check it at the end of the year because we'll do the work with the auditors. But they send them an accrual list in regards to payroll and that, so
Okay.
we're looking at. We need any revenues or receivables. And then we'll be doing the year-end review on the budget, which we have, as far as the revenues, where we stand, any outstanding grants or payments. Transmittals, cash, checks, EFTs that you're expecting or anticipating, we would ask that you send us, at least a notification for the amounts that have been billed out or will be billed out in the next 2 months. We have been in contact with the auditor, Anderson Tackman, waiting a response for their dates and times of availability. We'd asked that it would be earlier this year, possibly in March, to get this 2024 audit underway and completed at the earliest possible time. I have a list, and I would ask that for this upcoming year, if we can incorporate a finance meeting to kind of streamline the time that we have in, I guess, getting together and having everyone that is on the same page, so everyone's on the same page. They know they can rely on having a meeting on the day of the commissioners meeting or a separate day, either twice a month. Kind of like you have your meetings, and we would have a finance meeting either before or after, preferably before. So anyone who would be needing any changes or have any issues could come to that meeting, and then it could be discussed at that time and then presented to the board. I think it would make a better flow and kind of bring everybody up to speed and up on top of their budgets and keeping everyone on their budgets. I would ask that you consider doing that twice a month. I think it would take less time than putting together an hour-long or a 2-hour meeting once a month or once every other month or every quarter when we get together. I think it would be a better idea to have it on a regular basis. We do checks twice a month, right after the meetings,
Yeah.
and I feel like that would be an appropriate thing for finance to have. So I'm requesting that you add that somewhere.
Is 11 AM enough time for lunch, or should it be earlier?
That would be fine.
Yeah, we could set regular finance meeting dates, 11 AM to coincide with, commissioner meetings. I'm okay with that.
Okay. There are some finance policies that need to be addressed. The last time it was updated was 19. Kinda, there's a few more things in there that need to be, we updated with the cash policy, that's the big thing, we have the credit card policy now. There's just a few other ones that need to be kind of figured out, and people need to be aware of what they are. So we're working on that educational part for that, in this next coming year. And there was one more thing, and I'm looking and come up with it later. But did anyone have any, working on the end of the year stuff, sorry about that. Snapped right in the face. We're looking at, we will be having, it appears at this time without any outstanding invoices or knowledge of what still needs to be paid or what is going to be incoming from different departments, because we have not got any information on that, with the exception of one department, which wouldn't affect the general fund. It looks like we'll be ending the year with a good, healthy fund balance, similar, actually a little bit more than we did last year. There is a few things that still need to be moved around for some of the funds that are, I'm not gonna give a particular number because that's gonna change. And then when the auditors come, it will also make an impact, but the cash balances are, we have a very healthy, fund balance ending for 2024.
Can you, draft me a quick, email to send the finance committee can send all department heads what the year-end 2024 information we would like to have? Just a few line items or whatever, that, if you would please, and I'll forward that on. All right, any questions for Cheryl? Okay, clerk's report.
After the organizational meetings all wrapped up and we're done with that, we're gonna start, our office is gonna start the trial court funding survey. That was that lengthy survey, at the state level, that's gonna be quite time consuming as far as like the revenue sharing as the state goes with all the trial courts. Looks like we're gonna have a jury trial too, the middle of this month in January, the 16th and 17th, I believe. And Tina is gonna work with BSNA as far as the accruals go, for 2024 that have been paid in 2025. And we're starting to get a lot of the bills, if people can remember their accounts payable and everything, to write that year on the right-hand side they should be paid out of. That's helpful also. Yep, Dan Gother came in today and filled out his paperwork for the building department manager. And other than that, all I got.
Okay. And Mary, today, sheriff's report.
Might come right on up, that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of want to give you a breakdown of what I plan on doing at these meetings. Hope they're really informative and they're not too boring. I don't want to talk in cop language because that's cop language, it's not people language. And please ask questions if you have any, if they come along. What I want to talk about at the meetings, when I update you, is I want to talk about some of the recent events that we're involved with in the sheriff's office and the interesting complaints that we handle and some of the investigations that we're doing. Along with that, I want to talk about some of the roles and responsibilities that the sheriff's office is responsible for. I brought a pretty nice article that I've had for quite a long time. For each of you can take it and read it at your leisure, or throw it out if you want, yes. But it talks about the sheriff's office duties in pretty good detail and specific to, specific to Michigan, and this is a retired sheriff. I haven't got to meet Tom, but he retired out of Kalamazoo County. There's another one by the retired sheriff out of Mackinac County, and I've read that for a while, but it's also pretty interesting. And his is a little bit more historical about how this all started off back in biblical times, but was much more pronounced like in medieval. The stories of Robert Hood and the sheriff of Nottingham are somewhat accurate, so his has a lot more history. And anyways, I just want to talk a little bit about what we do as far as our grants and our funding. From time to time, some of our grants are a little confusing, not as confusing as our federal grant. It's one of them. It's a little Homeland Security grant. Those are a little more difficult to navigate. Those are also, some of these grants are also on a fiscal year where we're on a calendar year. Some of them bleed over to the next year and some of them do not. So there's all kinds of intricacies. I'll try to maybe profile one or two of those every meeting. I'll give you a brief update on those. Again, I don't want to get too boring because some of those are kind of complicated. I also want to talk about some of the training requirements. The police officer of Michigan historically had to qualify with a firearm once a year. That was the only requirement that we had in law enforcement and paid certification. Once you went to the academy, that was it. That has changed quite a bit now. There's quite a bit of different things that we have to do. Public Act 218 of 2018 was the first one, and that required us to have active violence response training. We all have that now, and we have a reflector of that, so we update that periodically. Things change with, they used to call it active shooter training, but we call it active aggression training, because it may not be a shooter, as we saw this last weekend, maybe with a vehicle or a edged weapon or something like that. So we change that and update that quite frequently. The funding for some of this training is getting a little crazy too, and Cheryl's helped me navigate a new training fund that came out halfway through last year. And this is one of the funds that carries over from one year to the next. So last year we got 6,000, this year we got 12,000, this year meaning 2025. What I didn't spend last year, I can spend this year. They haven't even established how long we can roll that over or maintain it. Because it's that new. They rushed it through so quick. And really what it was is a whole lot of touchy-feely training that they wanted to force down on law enforcement because of things that went on in recent events, mainly surrounding use of force and de-escalation of force and things like that. They pushed it out so quickly, they didn't have all the logistics worked out on it. They're getting there. They are sending money out, and that's always been our chief complaint with the state on mandating training, is if you're gonna mandate it, you need to help us pay for it. Well, we asked for it, we got it, now we have to follow through by doing the training. I want to keep you updated on our jail operations with Iosco County. They did have a death there the other day. I think the death occurred on the way to the hospital outside of the jail. But I'll keep you updated on how arrangements are going with them. And the things that we still have to do here in Alcona County and things that we're responsible for, even though our prisoners are locked up down there. And as you think you'll find out, I do make frequent stops down there and visit with them and check in on their staff. I talk to their staff because I feel like they're my folks too. And I like to know what they're doing. I'd like to feel comfortable with them, because ultimately, if there's a lawsuit that comes out of that jail, my name's gonna get on it too. So I like to keep up on that. Another thing I want to do is kind of profile some of my staff members and some of the things that they do that are specific, or different. They all kind of have different areas they specialize in. We can't have everybody specializing in everything, so they'll kind of have their little niche in our department that they fit into. Like I said, these meetings are gonna be meant to be informative, and I encourage questions. My next update, I'll bring in some year-end numbers. We should have most of those in by then and have those figured out where we're at for the year. I would say it was a strange year this year. Our traffic fatalities were through the roof this year. I'm not sure exactly why. But we had a ton of fatalities. I'm guessing around 8, but I'll have the final number for you next week. One of those involved a school bus. It was unoccupied, but it was a school bus that the other driver was a fatality. We had one crash that involved 2 fatalities in it, and another fatality that involved a pedestrian that was hit by several vehicles. So those are all pretty rare occurrences here in Alcona County. The holidays this year, they were relatively unremarkable. New Year's Eve had no drunk driving, arrest, or crash, but Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we got a lot of them. So it's pretty good. You had 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 days. The other interesting thing that happened Christmas Eve day is that there was a 3-year-old child, bitten or attacked by a coyote in Curtis Township. And that's pretty strange.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's not every day. Do you remember those? That's what I told the newspaper when they asked. I said, I don't remember having anybody hit by a coyote, other than trappers and hunters that had gotten one that wounded, they got hit, but not an attack.
Yeah.
So,
Started deer season, was it the usual?
no, you know, if I ever talked to you about this series, the deer seasons from when you and I were working early in our careers are not anything like they are now. They're very, I don't wanna blame the DNR for this too much because it's, I don't wanna be that guy. But hunting season is not a big deal around here anymore. It used to be when earlier in your career, we were good for a ton of bar fights. Every other year we would have a shooting of some sort, maybe accidental, maybe not. And when I was younger, we would not drive between Lincoln and Martin City along Traps Lake Road because there were so many camps set up through there that my parents were worried that we'd catch a stray bullet driving through there. None of those things are true anymore. We didn't have a bar fight during deer season this year. That's unheard of. You know, and these are all bad things that I'm mentioning, but I'll tell you, when we have those things, that means there are people coming here, there are people recreating here, and there's a lot going on. I don't think we have that anymore. We don't have the camp set up along the federal land like we used to. There just are not people coming here, and I think the direct reason is we quit baiting here long before the rest of the state did. And as I grew up as a young man in Alcona County, people quit coming here. They did not want to hunt here where we couldn't bait deer or feed deer, where they could go 2 counties away and throw a little bait out and see more deer and have a different hunting experience than we have here. And I think that's pretty tragic, but I've also seen the fishing industry here go down, and it feels like now it may be coming back a little bit, which is really good. But again, we have a dozen ordinances written in the city of Harrisville strictly for snaggers showing up to snag fish in the harbor. I couldn't tell you the last time we've had somebody from Ohio, but you remember the place from Ohio used to come up here.
Shoulder to shoulder down there,
They
yeah.
were, and the streets were lined, and we made all these laws and rules about parking and camping and all that. I say we in the city of Harrisville, that, it's not a thing anymore, it's not a
It'd
thing,
be one lane, remember, they run the street one way,
yeah.
couldn't come out. You only had one way in.
It was a different day.
I think also the ones that are hunting now and fishing are older days, and they don't go to the bar and fight anymore. Maybe when they were young, but now everybody's old, and who wants to go?
I agree, I think well, along with an older population, that's what we have with hunters, but yeah. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't tangle with the old guys, because those old guys will whip you.
Probably shoot you instead of fighting you.
Well, I don't know.
It makes it worse.
Yeah, I don't know. And we did have a shooting this year too, which was pretty strange, and that was about we did. And if I didn't mention it, most of the things we're dealing with, specifically the crashes, are all alcohol related, and sometimes some drugs too. All alcohol related, most of the major incidents of alcohol.
So I give you a chance to respond, because I've heard this, I've seen it on Facebook a couple times, some complaints in the city, that my district, so I want to bring it up. You guys do a good job of patrolling the city, contract, I've heard, they call the cops and they won't help, or they won't do anything about certain things. And I know that's not true, but I want you to be able to say.
Yeah, I'd be real interested to hear what that is, because we respond to all calls for service, especially in the city of Harrisville. And it reflects in the billing, because we bill them for those calls for service in Harrisville pursuant to our contract with them. I don't hear that from the board when I go, although I haven't been in some time.
I haven't heard from any of the council meetings.
Yeah, I keep in pretty good contact with the mayor, and I haven't heard that complaint. Quite the opposite from him. He's pretty happy with our agreement and happy with how things are going. And I think, as I mentioned at the last meeting, they're looking to help us buy a drone and some other wish list items that they've got some extra money for. So Facebook sometimes isn't fun.
Oh, yeah, well, it isn't just that, there's been other people calls, it's,
Yeah.
it's the same old, just want you to be able to vocalize that.
No, I would appreciate to hear, refer them to me, have them call them up, and I'll talk to them, or they can leave a voicemail. And, unfortunately, there are professional complainers out there that are every day for us and part of the job.
Okay, well, make sure, that if you want, this is a good, platform, because somebody go on YouTube and watch the same report.
Yeah.
So if there's any way you can incorporate that into your propaganda that you might have.
Yeah, absolutely. That part of this is not just for you, it's for whoever's behind you watching on camera, so they can hear what we're up to also.
And they can watch it anytime. Really.
Yeah, and we put out statistics, and everybody can look at that, but after you look at those a couple different times in the newspaper, it's all the same. I mean, something might stand out to you once in a while, but unless you hear it firsthand,
Most importantly, it gives you an opportunity to humanize, not just to be this figure.
Right.
That's out there as the.
Yeah, and it's not just a uniform showing up at your doorstep, either wanted or unwanted.
Right.
Yeah, quick question. We talked last year or maybe 2 years ago even about dog handlers, dog catching things, is,
Oh, animal control?
yeah,
Sure, yeah.
are we moving forward? with
Yeah,
that?
they've got a new president at the Humane Society, and I had lunch with her a couple months ago. I think she's gonna be good for them. She's very organized. I think she said she had a PhD, maybe a master's. I hope I don't wanna discount her if it wasn't a PhD, but she's a very, very intelligent, bright woman looking to, improve things out there. And by doing that, one of the things is working with us. She wants to improve some communication there. So what we've developed with them is that they have a list of offenders, meaning people who have lost their dogs and have been turned into the Humane Society, that we're unaware of, and we have a list that they're unaware of. And we're trying to mesh those two things so that when we have repeat offenders who are allowing their dogs to run loose and they end up over at the Humane Society, we're able to charge them with allowing the dog to run loose, and we're able to recoup some of their costs associated with it. Before, they kept their list and we kept our list, and they didn't mesh, or very rarely meshed. And we're gonna have one guy assigned to working on that and putting that together a little bit tighter so that works for us.
And we increased their fees that we pay them too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did from 8,000 to 12,000, yeah. But I think we may have done that mid-year last year, and we did it for this year too.
It was covered for the whole year.
Okay, any more questions for Scott? Thanks, Scott, looking forward to this. This is gonna be nice.
No, I look forward to it too. Pretty good.
Thanks. Committee reports, not that you got much done over the last 2 weeks, but maybe you did. Carolyn?
I had a very quick, happy.
Excellent. How are you, Dave? You know, me as well. Dave?
Still in the middle of it.
Good. All right, excellent. Communications in your packet, review at your leisure.
Oh, yeah.
Might be something in there, review it if you got it. Last section of public comment. None, additional comments from commissioners? Meeting adjourned, be back here January 15th, at 1:30 PM.